Lost Ark have get a huge new continent, Rowen, as part of latest new update in Korea, and on that continent you will need to pick your faction. RvR, PvP, factions and guild versus guild sieges are just some of the new features which are implemented into the game with this new update. So stay with me for the next few minutes to hear all about it. Before we start, let me just say, subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. As you can see, I am already here on official website of Lost Ark in Korea, so let's see what is happening regarding factions, PvP, RvR, new continent, and in generally everything regarding this new latest update from December 29. So let's go first with a new continent. Rowen has been added. One legend, one prophecy. The unknown continent Rowen has been added. Okay, sounds good so far. Let's see developer comments first. A newly introduced continent Rowen is continent designed for two main purposes. The first purpose is to enjoy the story unfolding on the Rowen continent just like the previous continents did, and the games to collect various collectible contents such as adventure books are also included in this Rowen. The second purpose is specially added with a new element of competition. After you enjoy the story, you will choose a faction based on your beliefs, and this can make Rowen's field a little more tense than on other continents. However, there are some people who don't like this kind of PvP situation or want to enjoy only the story or collecting elements lightly. For such people, a small cost, gold, is consumed, but there are safety devices for safe adventure, so please enjoy with confidence. So actually this is one good option for everyone who doesn't like a PvP. So basically you will still pick a faction, but there is option regarding these safety devices. I will show you that a little bit later. You will need to pay a little amount of gold, like a 300 gold I think, and then you will be protected. So nobody will be able to attack you, so no problem regarding PvP if you don't like to engage in PvP on this new continent. I will show you that a little bit later. Let's see what we have here further. The PvP of the Rowen continent will be updated sequentially at intervals of time between the field PvP, the Tuluvic RvR that will appear in the future, and the Siege of Stargard, where the war between the guilds will unfold. I have already mentioned this Siege of Stargard in my previous videos. Actually, developers from Korea did announce this Siege of Stargard, which will be a siege actually between guilds, guild versus guild content in the Rowan festival. We have heard the first time regarding Siege of Stargard. In order for the full-scale PvP contents to work stably, the following rules are applied in PvP of the Rowan continent. Don't mind this Rowan or Rowan, this is translated roughly from Korean to English language. It's a Rowan continent. Let's see what will happen during PvP. The set effect is not applied. Okay, this is interesting. The set effect is not applied. Adventurers, ancient and relic grade items have a very powerful set effect against monsters. However, as this effect is designed to counter powerful monsters, it is not suitable for use in various PvP situations. Therefore, in the Rowen continent, the set effect is not reflected after the faction is selected. So after you pick faction, you will have two options. I will show you a little bit later, a team red or team blue. That set effect will not be reflected. Another thing regarding PvP over there, the defense rate level is changed according to the armor. As the adventurers grew, the defense rate that could be reached in Lost Ark increased significantly. When hunting monsters, it is intended that the defense efficiency improves depending on the settings, but it does not fit a Rowen's content, characteristics and PvP situation. Therefore, a defense ratio has been adjusted to work effectively in Rowen, where various PvP situations are unfolding, and the PvP damage factor has also been adjusted according to the adjusted defense ratio level. I must say that these two changes regarding set effect and defense rate, they're kind of a logical thing, right? Because PvE is something different from PvP. And of course, that set effects and this defense rate level cannot be the same for PvP. So this is actually a really good idea from developers to adjust situation regarding that. Wherever you like stories and collecting, or you like PvP, you will enjoy in the new continent Rowen. You can start your adventure in Rowen by talking to NPC Osphere, located in the Mola River in the Rowan continent, and proceeding with the Strangers in the Strange Land quest. You can proceed with Rowan's world quest from item level 1445 or higher. Okay, remember this. Item level 1445 or higher. New favorability NPCs and quests has been added to Rowan continent. Now we have here lots of changes regarding new continent, of course. Let's check them out fast, then we will skip to factions. I need to show you actually lots of things which are happening over there in Korea. Factions, RvR and PvP content are probably most interesting things. So we will fast check what we have here on the start. Added a Rowan category to calendar and alarm timer. 5 favorability items related to the Rowan continent has been added. Mokoko seeds have been added all over the Rowan continent. Of course they did. Where would we be without Mokoko seeds, right? Epona quests and general quests that can be performed in the Rowan continent has been added. New emote, drink tea, and the sheet music wolf song that can be obtained from the Rowan continent has been added. The Rowan continent adventure book has been added. As you can see, they have added actually lots of playable content regarding new continent. A new wandering merchant has been added to the Rowan continent. Field boss Hermut of Rowan continent has been added. Field boss, really nice. Added 28 new achievements and 9 new titles related to the Rowan continent. 13 cards related to the Rowan continent has been added. Wow, right? As you can see, amount of content which developers have added with this new continent Rowan is really insane. This is really beautiful to see. Let's go down a little bit to show you everything regarding factions. In Freygeli versus Libertan, there is a battle between the two powers over the right of Silmael. After completing Rowan's last world quest, Ilabek of Cataclysm, you can select a faction to belong to and participate in the faction content throughout the adventure quest, faction selection, Freygeli or Libertan. After completing the quest guide for each faction, you can proceed with the story quest related for each faction. Logical. The selected faction is applied on expedition basis. A faction can be changed immediately for the first time only and cannot be replaced for the 7 days after that. This is an interesting fact. So after you pick first time, okay, that is immediately. But after that, you cannot change faction again for next 7 days. There is a cooldown. So this is also a logical thing, and I have seen that in some other MMORPGs situation regarding this, because you cannot just jump from one faction to another faction as you want. There has to be some kind of cooldown. In Lost Ark, they have put it 7 days, which is also really good. If the number of people in a certain faction is saturated, it is impossible to select or change a faction. Okay. This is interesting. Also, very good idea from developers of the game, right? Of course, if the number of people in certain faction is saturated, you will not be able to change faction into that faction. This is logical. After selecting a faction, you can acquire a faction position based on faction experience. You can check the position information in faction position information, shortcut key Alt+R in the game menu. Position grades will be revealed only to levels 1 to 6 first, and will be revealed up to level 15 when the Rowan RvR Battlefield Tuluwik is added later. Regarding this RvR content which is waiting for us in the future, we still don't have too many information, but when I see any kind of new information regarding RvR content, I will let you know about that, because this is really interesting. This is really beautiful to see this kind of content added to the Lost Ark. After selecting a faction, you can obtain exclusive mounts, wow, really, for each faction by following the quest progress. In the Great Plains of Ledgerbank, you cannot ride on other mounts except for the mounts for each faction. These are very interesting facts. So you'll get exclusive mount specific for your faction. Wow. After selecting a faction, you will always be in the PK state with the opponent's faction within the Rowen continent. Also logical thing, right? So everybody will be able to attack you without any penalty. After selecting a faction, the battle balance will be adjusted in the Rowen continent as follows. Equipment set effects are not applied, we have heard about that before. Base damage and defense rate are applied separately in PvP battles, and the rules used in PvP environment are the same. Okay, here we have one user interface. As you can see here, after selecting a faction, the Power of Furious Earth effect is applied. You can check that effect in the avatar tab of the character information window. So yeah, this is showing this Power of Furious Earth effect. You can acquire faction experience throughout various activities as follows. Defeat opponents, normally. Participation in weekly competitive cooperative quests. You can also acquire faction experience points from the Rowan Battlefield content that will be updated later. Look at how many things they have added with this faction system. It's not like let's just put factions in the game and let's just put PK, people can PvP in open world. It's not like that. There is lots of new content incoming, including that guild versus guild thing. So this is a really nice thing. What we have here, Ledgerbank Greater Plains is an open area where you can proceed with various individual competitive cooperative quests. Individual quests can be progressed once per week. Competitive cooperative quests can be participated at the set time, respectively, at the number of times you can participate is limited each week. So we have Field Boss once a day for each Field Boss appearance date, Conquest of Ledgerbank twice a week, and a raid twice a week. Okay, so this is schedule regarding that. Wow, this is really amazing to see. What do we have here further? In Ledgerbank Greater Plains, the resurrection time after death is applied separately. Time remaining until instant respawn, 15 seconds. Time remaining until auto respawn, 30 seconds. The special collection Silmile Sealing Stone is created in Ledgerbank Great Plains. Silmile Sealing Stone can be collected by up to 4 people. Silmile Sealing Stone cannot be collected together with characters from other factions. That is also logical. Silmile Sealing Stone is not affected by life tools and skills. Acquiring Silmile crystals can be exchanged for various items through the Silmile Crystal Exchange vendor. So this is okay, this is this is barrier. What you can see here on this picture, this is another thing. Let's check what we have here regarding Silmile crystals. Can also be obtained throughout the following paths: when promoted to a power position, faction quest participation, weekly competitive cooperative quest added to faction content items, Rowan Continental Adventure books, favorability, Epona reputation. Okay, but now let's check this protection of barrier. So basically we have heard in the first part of this post that for people who are not enjoying PvP, you'll be able to avoid that. Let's see how. In Rowen, you can use protection of the barrier. You can obtain protection of the barrier by completing the quest Mysterious Stone Barrier. Protection of the barrier can be acquired for free for the first time, and after that 300 gold will be consumed each time it is used. So the price is actually not that high, right? 300 gold, that is not much, and you'll get it first time for free. So what are you getting with this protection of the barrier? Protection of the barrier lasts for 20 minutes, and while the effect is maintained, the state of engagement with the opponent's PC and NPC is cancelled. Protection of the barrier can be used up to 10 times a week as an expedition unit and resets at 6 o'clock every Wednesday. If you invade the opponent's base from the Great Plains of Ledgerbank, while receiving protection of the barrier, the effect is immediately removed. Okay, also logical, right? While receiving protection of the barrier, you cannot participate in the Raid War and Conquest War, cooperative quests in the Great Plans or Lagerbank. So, yeah, I mean, of course, if you have this protection, you cannot go into Raid War and Conquest War. You cannot participate in the parties and raids while receiving protection of the barrier. So, I mean, you will get this protection, but you will not be able to do many things on a Rowan continent, right? When you use the barrier removal scroll, item obtained when you touch the mysterious stone, you can immediately cancel the protection of the barrier. So this is for all the people who are not enjoying that much in that PvP part of the content of the game, in generally in MMORPGs. I know there are some people who like to play only PvE. So if you don't like to play PvP on a Rowan continent, you will use this, protection of the barrier. And then what do we have further? So in the next part of video, I will talk about lots of changes which we have also get with this new update. I mean, main changes for sure are regarding this new continent, Rowan, and regarding a new faction system, regarding RvR and guild versus guild content which is coming to us. However, we have also get, I will just show you briefly, I will not go into details because then this video would be like hour and a half probably, maybe even more, to read to you everything here. I don't want to turn this into reading session. I just want to show you main things regarding this new update. So let's check fast what we have here. Convenience improvement update. I have noticed that I have logged in a few times in the game over there in Korea during the last day or two. And I have noticed many changes regarding a user interface. Not that main user interface which you can see in front of you when you play the game, that have remained the same, at least it's looking the same, everything to me. However, when you open different tabs, I can see that something is different. I didn't use that English patch now when I have logged in, so I didn't translate many things. But however, I see that things are looking differently. They have added some things. Here you can see a content status system has been added. This is really interesting. Here you will be able to track everything what you have done and what you need to do regarding the content. This will be a very useful for new players. Improved set equipment conversion function. Okay. As you can see, they have changed many things here regarding user interface. Renewal of collecting point user interface. Character customization, background preview. I have noticed that you can change that background. Added mount favorites boarding function. Regarding this, I still didn't understand completely what is happening. It's looking like that you are getting randomly mount to jump on. On the other hand, in specific regions, you can jump only on specific mounts. So I still need to study this, what is happening with these mounts. But for me, it was looking like you are jumping randomly each time on some other mount. I will check that later. Improve item acquisition and assembly. World map improvement. Regarding world map, I need to mention here, I don't know what they have right here, what they have changed. We have heard during a Rowan festival event that in the future they will try to improve further world map. And actually maybe I will make some gameplay videos from over there in Korea to show you that map is really looking completely different. I cannot specifically say something is different, but in general, when you open the map, you see it's, you know, it's not that old map. They have improved how map is looking. What do we have here? Improved party finding and invitations, improvements and fixes, reorganization of the Conquest War and Cooperative War system. Look sheer amount of these changes. Combat, skill, character. They have implemented really lots of new changes with this new update, and I have to say this is really beautiful to see. Every time when I'm reading a new patch note from what is happening over there in Korea, I am simply impressed with dedication, with passion which developers are showing to this game. Because you cannot do this in front of you without passion. This is really, really beautiful to see. collectible points, and many other changes. I will put a link in the description below video. If you want to check this update for yourself, you can read in details. Like I said, I could read this for a long time. I just wanted to show you main changes regarding this update, and one of these main changes are for sure this faction system and RvR content, which is included into this new continent, Rowen. If I notice that anything interesting is happening over there in Korea, I will let you know about that instantly here on my YouTube channel. I am following a long time Lost Ark and playing this game over there in Korea, Japan, and mostly lately in Russia. Check my YouTube channel for lots of gameplay videos and guides from world of MMORPG gaming. Main focus of my YouTube channel are new upcoming PC MMORPGs. However, with the release of Lost Ark in the West, of course, I will let you know everything regarding Lost Ark, and this will be main focus of my YouTube channel in the future. Let me know in the comments below video, will you play a Lost Ark after Western release in February 2022? And of course, how do you like all of these new changes regarding Lost Ark in Korea? Do you like a new continent and new faction system of Lost Ark? Thank you for watching the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more Lost Ark videos in the future. See you soon.